Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Like I said for today's video, beer's courtesy of Jim. Thanks so much, Jim. Really appreciate it. And it's Saturday, and on Saturdays, I drink something off my shelf. Cellar Saturday. Instead of just letting it sit here as a lovely background, I want to actually start drinking these beers, so it's been going really well. So this is from Lakefront Brewery out of Milwaukee, and it's barrel aged. It's Pumpkin Imperial Ale. Ale brewed with pumpkin and spices with vanilla added and aged in Brandy barrels. It is 13.4% ABV, and it's from May 2019. It's about 2.5 years old at time of review. Almost like in one more month it'd be 2.5. So 2 years and 5 months. Anyway, let's get into it. I get some of that pumpkin-y spice already. Wow. Pretty excited about brandy barrels. I've had certainly rum barrel aged pumpkin beers. I don't remember if I've ever had like bourbon or whiskey barrel, but I could see brandy working. There is some orange in there. It has like a nice red, somewhat crimson, amber, brown. It's like it depends on what part of the beer you're looking at, actually. You know, all of those things can be found in this beer. Barely any head. It's a light khaki color. It's going away. Not that there was a lot of it to begin with, but it's going away. It's sticking to the side of the glass more than the center. There's just a film at the top in the center, so it looks like there's more than there really is. But yeah, definitely looks like a pumpkin ale. Let's get to the aroma. That has a very pleasant, spicy note. So like beer spiciness and then like legit spices, cloves, some cinnamon, allspice. So like it has like the fall baking spices for sure. But then there is like this little prickly beer thing too. It doesn't, not that I'm an expert on brandy, but like there is a distilled spirit quality. If I was doing this blind, I wouldn't be able to specify the barrel, but like it's interesting. And again, this might be my own ignorance, but like generic spirit almost. It's not whiskey or bourbon, obviously. It's not rum like I was saying, but like I'm not getting brandy specific, but again, that might be my own ignorance. A nice caramel sweetness for sure. So it has this it has a lot. Yeah, I'll use the word a lot, or words a lot. It has a lot of sweetness, has a lot of spiciness in more than one way, like I said. But there is like this molasses, I'll go with molasses note that's kind of like reining it back in, so it's definitely not too sweet of a smelling beer, but like there is a good level of sweetness, so don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think the closest thing is like a molasses cookie, if you will, where like it's kind of, bringing a little bit of balance to that sweetness. Anyway, it smells phenomenal is the short version. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Jim. That has held up nicely. I'll tell you what, first thing, well, I guess the first thing was me saying it held up nicely. Second thing, vanilla police alert. You'll notice when I was smelling it, didn't mention vanilla once. I do get some vanilla on the taste, and it's nice. It's there, but it's not dominating, but it's also not getting bullied by the other things. You get, at least on first sip, it's a generic spice. It's not like the aroma, a little bit easier in the aroma I could kind of pick out like specific fall spices. The taste, and again, at least on the first sip, is more just like, hey, it's fall spices, not like, oh, there's cinnamon, oh, there's nutmeg. Just like the aroma, there is a nice level of sweetness. Some of that caramel is coming through, but then there is enough, not savory, but there's enough, at least at this time, what I'll call beer tasting notes that again like kind of grounds it back into, it's not an overly sweet experience, but it's really good. That sip, like I was saying, or contradicting what I said in the aroma, That second sip, I got some specific brandy notes. I'm more used to apple brandy, so it took me a sec kind of be like, oh, wait, no, that's what brandy can taste like. Not a ton of oak coming through. I'll leave it at that, yeah. Same thing with the spices. It's just kind of like generic false spiciness, like in a good way. Like it's not like a negative. The beer has had time to come together. Things kind of like melded together. That's fine. It's good. It's a good thing. And then it has that unmistakable. And I don't know if like pumpkin actually does it. Because I know some of these pumpkin beers don't have any pumpkin at all. It's all the spices. But it has that, I don't know if it's, like to keep it in the pumpkin realm, like a starchiness. There's like this unmistakable pumpkin beer quality that's not just the spice, which is what's making me think maybe the pumpkin, like some of the, like how like lactose sugar can kick out a vanilla note, like how that sugar can do that thing taste-wise. Does fermenting sugar, not that, I mean, pumpkins have sugar, obviously. Like, is that the thing? There's just this unmistakable pumpkin beer quality to this. Tell you what, for the ABV, I didn't put this in the refrigerator or anything first. For the ABV, I'm not tasting alcohol. Specifically, I've had, I think, enough sips that I would start tasting it, on the palate. Maybe a little bit of warmth, but man, this is good. It's... I like pumpkin beer. It's just the nature of me reviewing beers. I don't drink a lot of pumpkin beers anymore. Unless I can get one to review or whatever. But like this also just is screaming fall. This is screaming, dude, you like pumpkin beers? This is really good. It is kind of what I want to end on. Jim, thank you so much, man. Like this is really tasty. Thank you guys for watching. Have you had this beer before? Have you had other pumpkin beers lately? Do you kind of go like in and out on liking pumpkin beers, barrel aged pumpkin beers, anything, everything? Comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.